بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to episode 2 of the series, The Levels of Shaitan's Misguidance. And in the first episode we talked about the first level of Shaitan's misguidance, which Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah mentioned, which is major shirk or major kufr, trying to get people to fall into that. And if he is able to achieve that, if Shaitan is able to trick people into falling into shirk or kufr, then he has achieved his goal. That's his ultimate goal, is to get people to fall into shirk or kufr. They die upon that, they're not forgiven on the day of judgment, they enter hellfire because of that, and they are not able to enter Jannah. And if Shaitan is not able to achieve that, if he's not able to trick people into falling into shirk or kufr, then the second level that he tries to trick people into falling into is bid'ah, innovations. And if we stop and think for a second, why are innovations specifically, not just sins in general, why innovations specifically are more dangerous, more harmful from just random sins, just other sins, is because in general, generally speaking, when someone's doing an innovation, they think it's something good. They think it's something that's a good deed, that's bringing them closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And so they're not as likely to realize that what they're doing is bad, and they're not as likely to stop and repent from that. And whereas someone who's committing a sin, if they know that it's wrong, they have more hope or more of a chance that they might stop and think and say, oh, this is bad. They know that it's bad, they stop and repent, ask Allah for forgiveness and stop doing it, stop falling into those sins. So that's why innovations are more dangerous and more severe, and that's why Shaitan, the second level he tries to get people to fall into, is innovations. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, قُلْ هَلْ نُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا. Should we not tell you about those people who have the deeds that are in loss, those who are most in loss because of their deeds? Then he said in the following verse, الَّذِينَ ضَلَّ سَعْيُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. Those who have lost their deeds have been lost in the dunya, in this life of this dunya. Their path, they lost the path. The deeds that they're doing are wrong deeds, bad deeds. But not just that, وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. But they think that they're doing good. It's not just people who are doing bad deeds. Those who are most in loss are people who are doing bad deeds, but thinking that they're doing good. See that part there? They're doing bad deeds, thinking that they're doing good. Those are the people who are most in loss. And the Prophet ﷺ warned us. He said, whoever lives long after me, from you, will see a lot of differing. We'll see a lot of differing. We see that today. What did he advise us? He said, فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِي. So stick to my sunnah. Stick to my sunnah. Follow my sunnah. And the sunnah of the rightly guided Khalifas after me. تَمَسَّكُوا بِهَا. Hang on to it. And bite onto it. Bite onto it. And then he warned us. He said, beware of newly innovated matter, newly introduced matters into the deen. Because every newly introduced matter into the deen is an innovation. Every innovation is a misguidance. In another narration, the Prophet ﷺ added, and every misguidance is in hellfire, or leads to hellfire. And Abdullah ibn Umar, radiallahu anhuma, and we covered this as well in one of the episodes of our other series, the authentic statements of the companions of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He said, كُلُّ بِدْعَةٍ ضَلَالَةٍ وَإِنْ رَآهَا النَّاسُ حَسَنًا. Every innovation is a misguidance, even if people see it as something good. So refer to that episode for more in-depth discussion about that statement. But he's pointing to something as well there, which is that every innovation is a misguidance that leads people away from the path of Allah, that leads people away from the true teachings of Islam, that leads people away from Jannah and towards hellfire. Even if people see it as something good, indicating that people might see what they're doing as something good, but in reality it's not. And that's the danger of innovations. That's the danger of innovations. And the other piece of innovations, why it's dangerous, the other part of that is because not only is someone doing something they think it's good, but it's in reality it's not, but they're also changing the deen. That's where the harm of it comes. It's not just impacting them, it impacts everyone else, because in a way they're changing the teachings of the deen. They're adding something to the deen which is not from it, And the Prophet ﷺ told us, I have left you upon the path which is clear. It's so crystal clear. It's so bright. It's day, it's like it's night. Meaning people would be able to tell the truth. People wouldn't confuse it. There's no confusion in it. It's clear. It's very well outlined. It's explained. He left us upon this true path, the straight path of Allah. the clarity of the truth of the Quran and Sunnah. And then he said, لا يزيغ عنها إلا هالك. No one will go off that path except someone who will be destroyed. In other words, leaving off following the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ in the way of the companions radiallahu anhum, and adding these innovations and introducing new things into the teachings of the deen is a way of going off the path of Allah, and leads to changing the deen, leads to people doing things that are bad thinking they're good, and leads people to ultimately, be in loss and to their own destruction. Barakallahu feekum, jazakumullahu khaira, wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.